Hey, what's going on, fam? So this is going to be a real brief video, just talking about kind of what you see up on the screen and a few other things. So this is going to be a quick video about Tone and Yvette because Tariq and Tone and Yvette have gotten into it again because of Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore's disrespect or perceived disrespect of Dr. Claude Anderson in his Breakfast Club interview. And while I'm not even though I do feel like our elders, especially those who have been fighting for us, should be respected in general, I'm not here to get in an argument about whether or not Claude Anderson should be critiqued because nobody, whether they're an elder or not, whether they've been fighting for us in the past or not, is above critique. Yvette and Tone are not above critique. Neither is Dr. Claude Anderson. So I'm not here to really defend Dr. Claude Anderson, even though I will say I do feel that our elders should be respected and probably should be respected a little bit more than Yvette and Tone are willing to give them respect. I'm really making this video just to talk about some of the hypocrisy I'm seeing, or not even hypocrisy, but just some of the things that you shouldn't do. Some of the things that I stay away from, even in my critiques of Tone and Yvette, that they should also stay away from. So basically, like I said, Tariq and Yvette and Tone got into it again, even though they had already obviously not liked each other and been beefing because of what's been happening with the FBA ADOS split. But they've gotten into it again. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because Yvette is engaging in a lot of the things that we shouldn't allow ourselves to degenerate into just because we're beefing with the other party. This is why I made my videos critiquing Tariq, because he was going back and pulling up old videos of Yvette that she could have evolved since then. And I was saying that it's unfair because people can do the same thing to Tariq. And now Yvette is trying to do the same thing to Tariq. Because her and Tariq got into it over Dr. Claude Anderson, now she keeps reposting this old video of him saying only single mothers should get reparations. I mean, only male-headed households should get reparations and single mothers shouldn't, which is a problematic statement. Just like Yvette Carnell saying anti-racism is trash when her whole movement is built on anti-racism. Because people evolve. They make old statements and they evolve since then. People make statements and they learn and they grow since that time, and they no longer believe in the things that they said before, or they come to realize that the things that they were saying before were problematic or offensive or all of the above. So the fact that Yvette keeps reposting this old video of Tariq as if there aren't old videos of her that make her look very suspect and compromised, and some of the old videos of her are more recent than the old videos of Tariq. So my question is, why is Yvette doing this? Why do you have to stoop to this level because Tariq is coming at you for going after Dr. Anderson? Now, it would be one thing if Tariq was still using those videos, those old videos, to say something about Yvette. Then I guess her bringing up his old videos is fair game. But he did not mention Yvette's old statements when he was calling her out for critiquing Dr. Claude Anderson. He didn't bring up her old statements about Bernie Sanders or about how anti-racism is trash. He didn't bring up these statements or about how people who complain about racism just want to whine to the white man and all these very Sambo-ish enemy of black empowerment statements that Yvette Carnell was saying. Tariq was not bringing up that stuff in order to critique Yvette. So for her to bring this up, it makes no sense. And then the other critique that I want to get into is why I'm using this screen cap. So the screen cap you see is a dialogue between me and someone who I won't name. But for their own personal privacy, even though me and this person have kind of had some disagreement since the ADOS FBA split has gone into position, I'm still going to respect this person's privacy by not saying who they are. But I'm posting the dialogue so you can see it with the timestamps. You can see this was back in the summer of 2018. I was sharing with him a problem I had with Yvette back in the summer of 2018 about her caping and defending interracial dating. Now, why is her caping for and defending interracial dating relevant? Because Yvette is trying to talk about how Tariq is somehow a fraud because his wife has a white mother. But Yvette, you have dated white spouses, and if you haven't, you sure as hell did a whole show. Well, you didn't do it. Tone posted it, a show on his channel that you called into, in which you and Tone spent about 20-30 minutes defending interracial dating. You kept talking about this book called Racecraft and how race doesn't matter. And I was talking about back then how it's hypocritical because all of your politics are about race. Yes, lineage too. Lineage also, but race. And in this video, you were making statements that almost make it seem like we have a closer relation with white people than we do Africans. And that we're closer to white people and we have more justification to date a white person than we would a black immigrant or a black African. And throughout all of my belief in ADOS, I never believed in that because I have a problem with interracial dating. But that is not the point. The point is that Yvette is now bringing up Tariq's wife being a product of interracial dating while she defends interracial dating or used to defend it. The other reason why I'm bringing up this screen cap is because actually when I went to the conversation and found the link to the video, because I couldn't find it on Tone's channel and I was wondering why. So I went to my conversations where I knew I had a link posted of that video. And when I found the link, Tone made the video private. And I'm going to put that same link in the description box so y'all can click it yourselves. But now all of a sudden they've made it private, which is very suspect because now all of a sudden you're critiquing and basically attacking Tariq for having a wife who's the product of interracial dating or interracial sex, while you and Tone vociferously defended interracial dating a year and a half ago. And this is all in the same conversation that you keep reposting a 10-year-old video of Tariq talking about how only male-headed households should get reparations. And again, I don't believe it's fair to either side. I don't believe it's fair to Yvette to bring up old videos that she could have grown since then, but I don't believe it's fair to Tariq either. And the fact that both of them have tried to use this tactic against each other shows what happens when we don't have constructive conversations and how quickly the conversation can degenerate into nonsense and babble that has nothing to do with anything. And let me say this to close out the video. I have continued to critique Tone and Yvette on the essence of their strategy. I do not engage in the attacks about who people are dating, how people look, who's a pimp, who's got what infection, who's on crack, which both of these sides have done to each other, both of these so-called figureheads, which is again why the code should always be the leader and people and personalities can never be the leader, because the way both sides are acting right now is very childish. But I will admit Tariq has been acting a little bit more childish. But now Yvette, with her responses today that have nothing to do with what Tariq was critiquing her for while the whole conversation started, which was about Dr. Anderson, now that Yvette has degenerated into these things also, it's just really sad. Because Yvette had, for the most part, stayed above the extra childish stuff. But now she's being really childish and petty and engaging in ad hominems and non sequiturs that have nothing to do with the topic at hand, which is what I have stayed away from. My problem with Yvette and Tone is their strategy and the major holes and flaws in their strategy. That was my problem with them all this time, and it continues to be my problem with them. And now and just one more thing before I close out this video. I know I've been talking about Tone and Yvette a lot, fam. And I want to stop talking about them and get more back on black empowerment focused topics. So I do have a few more things I need to point out about them and their down ballot strategy, and also about that Byron Allen stuff that I have questions about. But I'm not going to engage in these ad hominems and these non sequiturs that they engage in. And non sequitur means basically irrelevant, has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about. All right. I'm not going to engage in none of that stuff, even though I now see Yvette. I already saw Tariq doing it, which is why I kind of made videos calling him out, and now I'm seeing Yvette doing the same thing, and both sides are wrong. But I'm also making this video to point out that Yvette and Tone have now all of a sudden made private their previous videos defending interracial dating, and that's very suspect because I have not seen them change that stance publicly. All I can see is that they made the video private as if they never said what they said. And these are the kind of things, this is my same problem with them in this down ballot stuff. You don't own up to what you said before, you just want to move on and act like you never said it. While at the same time trying to hold Tariq's feet to the fire for things that he said in the past that were a lot longer ago than things you said in the past, Yvette and Tone. And that's why you made this video private. But anyway, fam, check the link in the description box, and you can check and you'll get the link to the private video. But I'm also using the screenshot so people can't say, "Oh, you just found a random private link. You just found a random private link, and you posted it. That wasn't to how we know that was the Tone's channel." Well, there's no way to prove it because of the way YouTube makes videos private. But the closest thing I can to prove it is providing you with a timestamp conversation of when I shared that link. But anyway, fam, I don't want to make this video too long. That's just a quick rant / discussion on the hypocritical ad hominems that both Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore are now engaging in, and that Tariq kind of engaged in the past when he first started this beef with Tone and Yvette, or when this beef first started with them. But anyway, fam, that's it. That's another video. Like, share, subscribe, and peace.